What's up, guys? Today we've got a super exciting update on the 67 Mustang Fastback. We are mocking up the wheel and tire combination under this car. Stay tuned.
Thanks again for joining us. We are looking at my 1967 Mustang Fastback project. Today, we've got the wheels and tires mocked up for the very first time. These are American Racing VN427 wheels that I purchased from Bob at Vintage Wheels of San Diego. He did a great job dialing these into spec. Black satin wheels with polished spinners, 17-inch by 9.5 inch wide all the way around. Backspacing is 5.75 inches in the rear, 6.5 inch backspacing in the front. They fit perfectly. I think it's pretty close on the front, but I hope it's going to work without rubbing. We will see. These tires, Toyo Proxes R888Rs. The Proxes are mostly an autocross style tire, super sticky for the street. Lots of folks run them on street and track cars. I think they're going to be great. We've made a lot of progress on the bottom of this car, but there's still some finish welding that needs to be done. Check out the transmission here. That's a Tremec Magnum 6-speed manual. Here's a good look at all the welding and these subframe connectors. That's a Ford 9-inch back here in the rear. There's a little bit more welding that still needs to be done, but it's almost ready for paint. We're going to do undercoat on the bottom. Should be amazing. We're looking now at this strange aluminum center section with 3.70 gears. It's got a Detroit True Track limited slip differential. These coilovers are Bilstein shocks. It's a 3-link setup back here with a Watts link. The whole suspension setup on this car is from Streeter Track. Sean over there does an amazing job designing and engineering these products for early Mustangs. Check them out at streetertrack.com if you need any kind of vintage Mustang suspension components. You can see these subframe connectors. They tie in the rear suspension all the way to the front, locking things up to the torque boxes. This just really tightens up the chassis that these old Mustangs were known for having a fairly flimsy unibody design. That allowed for a ton of flex. These subframe connectors correct that. The suspension stuff, man, it really is just jewelry for car folks. You can see these disc brakes. We've got 13-inch rotors back here. Actually, 13-inch rotors all the way around. 4-piston calipers, also from Streeter Track. Some people put a bigger wheel on their restomod Mustang, like an 18-inch. While that allows for a bigger brake and a 6-piston caliper, I really prefer this smaller look. More of a vintage look, splits the gap between the original 14 and 15-inch wheel look and a big wheel look. I think the 17-inch, especially on a 67, 68 Mustang, is proportioned perfectly. Tires are 275 40 R17s all the way around. This is the aluminum 427 stroker that's going to go in this car. It's a dart block, AFR 220 heads. It's got the absolute best internal parts that I could throw at it. Custom comp cam, Oliver rods, forged crank. It's going to be a Borla 8-stack fuel injection. In fact, I've got the Borla 8-stack mocked up in the car right now. We'll get a look at that after we pull it down off of the lift. But I cannot wait to hear this engine run. Jeff and the guys over at Thunderdome have been doing an amazing job on this build. I wish I could be doing more of it myself, but these guys are just knocking it out of the park. They're absolute Mustang experts. They've got a handful of Shelbys and Cobras and other Mustangs in the museum that they've got over in Enumclaw, Washington, Thunderdome Museum. Definitely go check it out if you're in the area. This is the very first look that I've seen of this car sitting on its own suspension and wheels in over 3 years. I just cannot get enough of how cool these wheels and tires look. The Mustang is still in primer, but it's getting close to ready for paint. With the stance of this unpainted car, you can really get a sense of the style. A fairly stock-looking car. The traction is going to be insane, and it's going to need it. I'm predicting that the car will have around 620, 630 horsepower that the engine will be putting down, so traction's a must. I know a lot of Mustang enthusiasts, they're not big fans of black wheels. even more probably don't like spinners, but you know what? To each their own. I love it. This is the look I'm going for. The car is going to have all of the typical fastbacked chrome, stainless, polished trim, rocker panel moldings, deck lid, chrome light bezels, chrome door handles, all those things. So I think that will play really well with the polished spinner look. The car is going to be all black, and so it has to be laser straight. You can see in some of these angles that the gaps are perfect. The door gaps, hood gaps, trunk gap, it's all better than it ever was from the factory. I'm really hoping that I didn't go too aggressive on the front with these tires. It's going to be pretty tight. Hopefully I don't have any rubbing issues. We did roll the fender lips to get as much room as possible up there, but spacing is still going to be pretty tight. I hope I didn't cut it too close. That's a wide tire. Can't wait to drive this car. So the steering wheel is in. It's a Motolita. The seat is in. The shifter is in. It's all mocked up. The seats are TMI Sport Seat 2s, so they don't have any of the TMI logos or anything. It's basically a reproduction of the original with just a bit more aggressive bolstering on the sides and the back. It's got the deluxe interior, so it's got the Comfort Weave insert in that black seat. It's also going to have the seat trim, so that'll be pretty cool. This steering wheel is a Motolita steering wheel, wood wheel. It looks so good in here. I love that. And that's the 6-speed manual trans that's located now perfectly in this car. We had to do quite a bit of tunnel work to get it to work, but I think it's going to be great. The tunnel got modified a bit, and it's located right where we want to be, and I'm obsessed with the lines of this car. Here's another look at this angle. You can really see how the wheels fill up the wheel wells. I think it's a perfect balance between an original and a subtle restomod. The wheels and tires really are the only thing that's a dead giveaway. This isn't original. There are going to be 2 Shelby modifications, even though we're not doing any of that crazy Eleanor fiberglass stuff. Modification number 1 is a Shelby roll bar is in the car. Modification number 2 is we're going to do the bullet style Shelby side mirrors. Besides those things, this car is going to be very stock looking. Even the hood is this factory option turn signal cutout hood. We don't need any extra clearance for the low profile boreless stack injection that's going to be in here. I am going to run it without the corral, the pony corral emblem up in the front grille, so it'll be just a regular black grille, very much like the Bullet Mustang, Steve McQueen style. I can't wait to see what that looks like. We've almost ready to start painting and then assembling this thing. Here is the stack injection. You can see it's got the black stack with 427 valve covers with polished fins. The engine accessories up front will be mostly black as well to really highlight the aluminum engine and the stack injection. I cannot wait to hear this thing fire up. Really cool looking intake. Here is the spray out of what the car color will be. It's a custom color that I came up with based on Porsche's color called Jet Black Metallic, but instead of blue and violet metal flakes, we're doing green metal flakes to pay homage to the green color that the Mustang was when I first got it, before we dunked it in that acid a while back. I'm pumped to see this car in paint. Hopefully the next update you guys get to see, it's in paint as well. Thanks for watching. We will see you guys in the next video.